These are the venues that are home to the best teams and the greatest games. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sports venues to see before you die.
Well, I mean, it's fallen apart, but it's still Wrigley.
It's an institution of Chicago.
It's home away from home.
For this list, we've cast our eye over the stadia and grounds that have something that sets them apart from the rest, whether it's their architecture, atmosphere, or unique history. We've decided to exclude historical landmarks in favor of more modern buildings, as well as golf courses, as they aren't quite a physical venue that meets our criteria.
3, 2, 1, now.
Number 10, Maracanã Stadium. Football is essentially a religion in Brazil, and the Maracanã is the Brazilian football fans' place of worship.
It's already seen in this World Cup memorable moments such as Messi's wonder strike for Argentina against Bosnia.
It was the largest stadium in the world when it opened in 1950, seating nearly 200,000 people.
The stadium, one of the soccer world's most famous, has been renovated 3 times since 2000, and at a great cost.
A recent renovation has taken it down to a still very respectable 79,000. Named a national landmark in 1998, it's hosted numerous impressive events, from Pelé's 1961 Gol de Placa to Germany's victory in the World Cup of 2014. A stadium featuring an unbeatable historical vibe and unparalleled atmosphere, it will further its already considerable prestige when hosting the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2016 Olympics, as well as football matches during the Games.
This is Brazil's opportunity to shine, with the final match kicking off in Rio's iconic Maracanã.
Number 9, Lambeau Field.
And Lambeau is right there. We're literally in a neighborhood, tailgating, and there is Lambeau.
Otherwise known as the Frozen Tundra, this is the home of the Green Bay Packers and the oldest continually used stadium in the NFL. Opening its doors to cheeseheads in 1957 as City Stadium, it was the first modern venue created specifically for an NFL team.
The names you see going around the facade up there, we have 21 of those. Those are the names of the Green Bay Packer players, the years they played for the Packers, then the National Football League Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Named after the club's late founder, Curly Lambeau, those who run the stadium have managed to resist the temptation of selling the naming rights, unlike many other venues. As the games at the site are consistently sold out, you'd do well if you got tickets to any game. If you are so lucky, be sure to watch for the legendary Lambeau Leap, in celebration of a Packers touchdown.
Is that a touchdown or not? Well, they don't know whether to call it. Nobody wants to call anything.
Number 8, the Daytona International Speedway.
Drivers and fans alike know when they set foot in the world center of racing, they're truly standing on the rarest of earth.
Playing host to the most famous race in NASCAR, the Daytona 500. This monster venue packed in almost 150,000 thrill-seeking spectators at its peak. Although recent renovations will provide flexible seating for between 101,000 and 125,000. But these $400 million renovations will drastically improve the experience for the fan, with more comfortable seats and better amenities.
Everything about the race experience, from seating to concessions to conveniences, will be reimagined to create the world's first true motorsports entertainment complex.
The Speedway features a track that can be configured in several ways, and for ardent fans, the Fan Zone allows a more up-close and personal experience of the races.
It's absolutely fantastic. This is great. You look at the cars, they got people walking around enjoying themselves. Absolutely wonderful, man. Best time I've ever had.
Number 7, the All England Club. More commonly known simply as Wimbledon, this is the venue of the only grass court open championship in tennis. The club features dozens of playing courts, 19 of which are the classic and now rare grass variety. The famed center court is the world's 4th largest tennis venue and features a translucent retractable ceiling to let light in and keep rain out.
The big issue is on a grass court. If you're going to enclose it with 15,000 people, how do you stop the grass sweating?
In keeping with British tradition, players must wear white, and the usual food court offering is a bowl of strawberries and cream. The palpable sense of British tradition and ceremony gives the club a very special atmosphere that you should experience at least once.
Agassi not here this year?
No, mate, I think he's injured this year.
What about the 2 Belgian girls?
No, neither of them either.
Number 6, Wembley Stadium.
One of the biggest challenges was to make every one of the 90,000 seats feel like the best in the house.
Appropriately dubbed the home of football, Wembley is the base for the national team of the country where the game was perfected. The towers of the first Wembley were iconic, and the arch of the new stadium, finished in 2007, is a prominent part of today's London skyline.
I was just stood there, I looked at my feet, I looked up, saw London, I was like, I'm on top of Wembley Arch.
It hosts the biggest matches in the English domestic game, as well as many huge international fixtures. The old stadium, torn down in 2002, played a huge role in English football. The greatest praise the new version can receive is that it continues the legacy that the old ground laid down. Number 5. Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden has been the place for entertainers since 1879.
Touted as the world's most famous arena, MSG stands out even among the many other famous landmarks in NYC. Although frequently used for concerts, basketball, hockey, and even boxing fans know it as the home of the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers, as well as the site of many historic boxing bouts. Several other structures bore the name before the current stadium was built in Midtown Manhattan in 1968, the oldest major sporting facility in the New York metropolitan area. The Garden is the only major sporting facility with a concave ceiling. This structural oddity allows unobstructed views from all seats. But there's an unspoken, unexplainable quality that truly makes MSG stand out from similar sites around the world. Number 4. Wrigley Field.
The stadium is 100 years old this year and has become hallowed ground for baseball fans.
It's had a couple of different names since it opened in 1914, but it's pretty much always been the home field of the Chicago Cubs since 1916. As the second oldest Major League ballpark still in use, it's brimming with features that would never be seen at a modern stadium. The ivy-covered walls are famous, and the hand-turned scoreboard is one of the last of its kind.
And nothing has changed since then, except maybe this laptop and maybe a few chairs.
The bizarre winds and impressive views of the city are also among the many legendary features that make Wrigley unique. While some newer stadiums like AT&T Park in San Francisco and Camden Yards in Baltimore have sought to replicate the old feel of ballparks like Wrigley, nothing matches the original. And yes, it's named after the chewing gum maker.
Cool, refreshing Wrigley Spearmint Gum. Great to chew, even better to share.
Number 3. Camp Nou.
Possibly the coolest part of all, though, was getting to stand pitchside.
It's fitting that Europe's largest stadium houses one of the greatest football clubs in the world, FC Barcelona. Aside from having a committed local fan base, La Blaugrana attracts spectators from across the globe who travel to the concrete monolith to see the likes of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. With a capacity of almost 100,000, Camp Nou is frequently used for some of the biggest games in Europe.
That's where you get to really see how big this stadium actually is. It seats around 99,000 people.
And as Santiago Bernabéu Stadium is significant for those in Madrid, Camp Nou is an integral part of FC Barca's Catalan identity and is much more than a mere stadium. You have no idea how stunning it is to hear 100,000 people sing the FC Barca anthem whenever the team walks onto the pitch. Number 2. Old Trafford.
Walking on that tunnel, so many memories going through your head. When I came to England and I'm actually going to play here, Theatre of Dreams, 75,000 people. It's just amazing.
Dubbed the Theatre of Dreams by club legend Bobby Charlton, the ground at Old Trafford is as much a tourist attraction as it is the home of the most successful club in English football, Manchester United. Although the atmosphere may not be what it once was, this stadium can pack in 76,000 fans and is still a must-visit for any fan of English football. The ground has seen some of the greatest players and teams grace its turf. But during Sir Alex Ferguson's historic 27-year reign, the ground earned its reputation as an indomitable fortress. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
This place is just going to be electric, I think, for the next 3-4 days here.
Can you imagine? We're right at the edge of what is the boundary rope. It's a pretty long boundary all the way to where the people are playing.
In a city with massive air pollution, officials have mandated that this Olympics
be the Green Olympics.
This is the home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's a spectacular enclosed stadium. And of course, the eye goes immediately to this massive screen right here.
Number 1. Fenway Park.
It's dripping with history, it's iconic, it's quirky. I've only just got here and I love it already.
Just surpassing Wrigley Field as the quintessential American ballpark, Fenway's history cannot be matched by any other venue in the USA. By capacity, it's actually one of the smallest parks in the MLB, but that pales compared to the history that the home of the Boston Red Sox has developed over time.
The most unique seating option is on the Budweiser right field roof deck, which has tables high above right field.
The lone red seat is a symbol representing the longest home run ever hit at Fenway, at 502 feet, and the wall known as the Green Monster dominates left field. The park is on the National Register of Historic Places, meaning that features like Pesky's Pole and Duffy's Cliff will forever be part of American history. Do you agree with our list?
I put the kids to sleep. Look at them all.
Which sporting venue is on your bucket list? For more top 10s steeped in sports history published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
So that's absolutely brilliant finish.